Hi, welcome to the Art of Health podcast. It's a place where business leaders and health professionals share their insights and their often hard-earned successes with us. It's short, it's to the point. Enjoy. Hi, Rob here. Welcome to another Art of Health podcast. Today I'm going to talk about how essential sleep is to both your mental and your physical well-being. I'm going to quote from a couple of really interesting studies about this as well. But let me start by asking you a question. Who's heard the phrase, you can sleep when you're dead? Or, oh, sleep's for the weak. Have you ever heard anyone say, oh, I can manage quite easily on 6 hours sleep a night? Maybe now and again, but consistently 6 hours just isn't enough. Let me tell you about these two studies. This study was done by K. Anders Ericsson, and it's quite a famous study of violin players. In fact, this study is what gave rise to Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule. And of course, the study found that it was the violinists who rehearsed for longer and better quality rehearsal that became absolutely brilliant. That's what set them above. They could have natural talent, but the people who rehearsed and practiced for hours and hours much longer were much better violin players. But an overlooked part of that study was, and equally important, was the amount of sleep that the really brilliant violin players got. The best violin players averaged 8.6 hours of sleep in every 24-hour period. And also, over the period of a week, the really good ones spent an average of 2.8 hours, that's over the whole week, napping in the afternoons. Apparently 20 minutes is the optimum time for an afternoon nap, but this helped them to concentrate as well. So by having enough sleep, the really brilliant violin players had a clearer mind, they had more focus, more energy, they were able to have better concentration, and this is what allowed them to rehearse, better quality rehearsal for longer. Another interesting study was done at Lübeck University, and this study was reported in Nature journal, the scientific journal. Volunteers were recruited one afternoon. They were all shown a series of complex numerical puzzles which they were going to have to solve the next morning. And they were all told that there was an underlying hidden code that would actually solve them all. They were then the volunteers were split into two groups. One group was allowed to have a very good night's sleep, good conditions, dark, quiet, all those things. The other half of the group were put in rather bad accommodation, which was too light and noisy and that sort of thing. So they had a disturbed night's sleep. You can guess where this is going, can't you? The ones who had a good night's sleep, over half of them solved all of the puzzles. They got the underlying code. The ones who had a poor night's sleep, hardly any of them. I can't remember the exact amount. Something like 5% of them managed to solve the puzzles. So, sleep. What sleep does, it enhances the integration of unassociated information in the mind. So it consolidates the unassociated information. A good night's sleep actually increases cognitive function. It makes you more intelligent. That's what I'm trying to get at. So those are two studies about the mental benefits of a good night's sleep, of getting enough sleep. Stanford University carried out a study on basketball players, and in this study they got a group of basketball players, and over a 7-week period they all had extended sleep. So they were asked to stay in bed for 10 hours a night. They may not have slept for all of that, but they all got much more sleep than they normally would. And of course, the upshot of the study was that they all performed much better. They got more shots in, they had more stamina, so it increased their physical ability by having more sleep. So, in conclusion, have you ever felt pressurized to just stay out for one more, or been said, oh, come on, you can sleep when you're dead? Or this is what happens to me. A group of friends want to go out for a night out, and I know that the next morning I've got to get up and be bright, but I'm under pressure. So we're pressurized socially to not worry about sleep. But what I'm saying is you should prioritize your mental health and your well-being. It takes a lot of courage to stand up and prioritize that, getting enough sleep. So forget sleeping when you're dead. I say sleep now, stay switched on, and feel alive. Okay, have a great week. See you soon. Bye. Thanks for checking out the Art of Health podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and leave a review, and I'll love you forever. And if you'd like to try my energy boosting, inflammation busting, brain and body food breakfast, head over to www.breakfastofbrilliance.com and download the recipe today. See you soon. Bye.